Hey dear all, good evening and welcome to mathsg.in. Here when we say maths genius, we mean that the student himself or herself is the genius one up to his level of the syllabus. For example, a class 10 student, if he or she better tells us what a fraction and a fraction is a part of a whole. When do you get like or unlike fractions? Now when the denominators are same. What operations can we carry on with a fraction? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. What are the types of the fraction? They are the proper, improper and mixed. How and where this is growing to? No sir, this is growing to a rational number. So this if a child can easily describe these things verbally, then we'll be saying that key without any stress he or she has got the basic concepts of the maths which will make him or her stress free learning. Right at this context, let me explain one problem of class 10 chapter polynomials. Under that chapter, the topic was that what are the relation, how to build a particular quadratic polynomial from the sum and the product of its roots. So this problem of getting that polynomial from the sum and product of the roots is based on a concept. Just let me explain that thing first. The very standard form of a quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. If v is, let's say, equals to 0. That is the equation when we get the solution of the polynomial. Then in that case, if we go for a step, for example, we are going to divide both the sides by a, let's say. Divide this by a and the right hand side by a. So in that case, the value of the equation remains the same. As we know, if we operate with the same thing on both sides LHS RHS, we get that. So in that case, when we divide a x square by a plus bx by a and plus c by a, on the right hand side it is 0 by a. I always tell our students to write the basic steps like this. So that in this next case you don't get confused where from this exactly came later on. So again the evaluator will get a knowledge that you have understood them very clearly. So in this case, let me tell you, a gets cancelled from the numerator and the denominator, so you are left with only x square over here. Here you are left with b by x, b by a into x. Here you are left with c by a, and on the right hand side 0. So what does it make? The polynomial converts the polynomial to x square plus b by a of x plus c by a is equal to 0, or simply if you omit that equal to 0, you are getting the polynomial in this form. Here let us see that b by a is nothing but the negative of the sum of the roots, because sum of the roots is represented as minus of b by a. So that implies minus of alpha plus beta is equal to b by a. Similarly, c by a represents the product of the roots. Let me again remind you, I always do that in the classes also and this video. What do you mean by the roots of a polynomial? The roots are nothing but the solutions, or otherwise known as the zero of the polynomial. If plural, then only use the zeros, otherwise don't use the zeros. Zero of a polynomial. That means the value of x at which the polynomial reduces to 0, that we called 0 of a polynomial. The same thing is a solution, and the same thing is otherwise known as a root. And in case of a quadratic polynomial, you always get 2 roots. In a cubic polynomial, you get 3 roots. So these are the basic things which should be there permanently fixed up in your mind to carry on with a tricky problem. So now in that case, you are given with the sum of the roots, let's say something, and you are given with the product of the roots. I'm randomly taking the values without checking them or without referring any material, so that may give you something. So if we get the sum and the product of the roots and it has been told to find the polynomial, so in that case what we do is that the polynomial can otherwise be represented as x square plus b by a x plus c by a. So in that case here b by a is to be taken as, so we know the sum of the roots is b by a, so b by a is given as a over here, and here this is c by a. So here we want to replace the negative value of the b by a, and here we want to replace it with c by a, but this comes from the sum, this comes from the product. So in that case whatever the given values are 5 and 3, we are going to replace them. So the polynomial can be concluded as, sorry, not to use this plus over here, let me tell you, no, here no, don't use the plus, we'll be using the negative value of the given one. So here it is given that the value is 5, so we'll take minus 5 of x plus, it is given 3 over here, it will go as it is. So this is the polynomial, not exactly in the standard form, but this is the polynomial. How do we find? So do remember where from this answer got solved solution, that whenever you are having a standard format of a polynomial and if you divide both the sides by a, then you come up with something which can help you to get the coefficients from the sum and the product of the roots. This comes as x square plus b by a of x plus c by a. So in that case this can be replaced with negative of sum of the roots, this can be replaced with the product of the roots. So when sum and the product are given, so you can find out the polynomial. Thanking you all. This is Jit from mathsg.in. All my dear students, do check out this video and the way I perform the operation step by step. If you try that way, then the later on trickier problems will become less trickier because you know the basic concepts. Makes you maths genius. Welcome to mathsg.in. Thank you.